Hello friends, how's it going? A little bit of garage stuff and then out on the road for some testing. So I've had this this mount here, which I purchased. If you saw my other videos, I purchased this online a while ago from Amazon, and it fits right in here, and it has two USB connections here. I'm not going to use this mount for the Garmin because I didn't buy the Garmin. It's just not useful for what I'm doing. So I had a couple choices: either remove this unit and then add some kind of phone holder, or keep it. And the reason why I have this dilemma is because before I got my new iPhone, this worked fine. It sits right in there. Put my iPhone in here, and it works beautiful. But they moved the rocker on the iPhone lower down on the phone, so this bracket now squeezes the volume button, making this not an ideal place to put your phone. Plus, occasionally with some vibration, or if you've moved it the wrong way, the phone would switch from from horizontal to vertical mode, and it would mess up the maps. And also where this is placed when you're riding, you have to actually look down at the map, taking your eyes off the road. So I wanted something that was going to be a little higher and also kept the phone in the vertical position so it wouldn't flip-flop back and forth, and I could control music and all that good stuff. So what I opted for was, I was originally going to remove this. I took the screws out. Well, there's 4 screws that holds this in place, and a zip tie right here for this power cord. I removed these. I removed the whole side of the bike, all this fairing, everything I took off, to follow this power wire here down into the bike, but it goes actually underneath the fuel tank, and it was going to be quite an extensive removal of all this stuff in the fuel tank to get at this cord. So what I decided to do is just leave this, and add a RAM mount here. So basically what I did is I'll put the screw sizes and all that, but I went to Home Depot and I bought this is a metric size, obviously. I think I'm just gonna put it on the screen so I won't mess you up. But you have to buy one that's longer, okay? So to accommodate fitting this on top of here, and this screw reaching down into the threads. So it's a longer screw than what comes with the bike. I also got a lock washer and 2 rubber washers. One is underneath this RAM mount, and then one is right there, and then the lock washer sits on top. So this is screwed down really tight. It's not going to come undone, but because it has the 2 rubber washers, it does allow this to move a little bit. I can actually push on it and move it, which is nice because then I can get it in the right position that I want. And by keeping this here, let me just put you down and get this set up for a second. Okay, now I locked that in place. So this is locked in place with the key on the side here. You put the key in there and this will lock in place. It will not come off. Okay, so I'm a BMW fan. I love my motorcycle. And as you can see, under here is the actual BMW logo. So this is kind of a marketing mishap on BMW's part, that they've got this nice, metal. Is that metal or plastic? I don't know. Nah, it kind of feels plasticky, but got this nice BMW logo right there that would be staring at you in the face as you ride, reminding you that you are riding a BMW, which is, if you're a fan, that's lovely. But they put this mount here and you can't see it. So since I'm going to keep this, because I want to have 2 USBs, and I didn't want to rip apart the fuel tank and the whole side of the bike to get at it, I have an old iPhone, and let me just get that set up and I'll show you in a second. Is I put an old iPhone 6. Ooh, look at that. Oh, it's kind of dirty. I gotta clean it. I took a picture. So this is a static image. This is an iPhone 6 it was in a drawer somewhere. I haven't used it in years. So I just put a static image on there so I'd have a logo looking at me. It's pretty cool looking. And I've got these 2 short USB cables for charging. So you just pop these suckers open. Put that guy in there. And he can have power while I'm riding. I mean, I could put music in here, I could do whatever, you know, I could put all kinds of things in there if I want to, but basically it's just sitting there to have the logo and to make this look better than staring down at this thing. It's, you know, it's a solution that I like. You know, maybe in sometime in the future, maybe I'll remove all of this and go take the bike apart, take the fuel tank off and remove this mount. But for now, I think this is a fun solution and gives purpose to this old iPhone 6 that's been sitting in a drawer doing nothing. So let me just remove this back out. And let's go over here to what I purchased. So I'm not gonna show you how this goes together. I mean, here you can pause the video or look at it. This is how this goes together. So I purchased, this is another RAM mount for the ball joint. So this, we can just go over here. And this just goes on here. I'll do this with one hand. Okay, grabs on. Then you just tighten this down, you know, to hold it in place. So there's that. And then you've got this. So this is actually a couple different things. So here's the ball joint QuadLock that I purchased. As you can see, it came with a blue release valve or release switch. I bought this to match the bike, so I got a red one. And basically what you do is you just unscrew this top part, this comes off, you pop this off, put in the new one, and then put this is the vibration damper, because there's been a lot of people ruining their iPhones on these direct mount quad locks, I guess. The vibration is so strong it messes up the lenses, because the lenses are quite sophisticated and sensitive. So you want to make sure that you have some dampening in there. So this is the vibration dampener that they came out with. So it's got the rubber here, so you know, as it bounces around, there's some give in this and it won't shake the crap out of your phone. So that's all one piece. And of course the QuadLock system, the phone goes in there, you just twist it to the side and this locks up in place and the phone will not fall off. And to get it off, you just need one hand. You just push down with your thumb, twist the phone, and it pops off. I'm using my phone right now to record this, so I can't really show you. Whoops, almost dropped it. So that's that. So we'll come over here. And basically that just goes in this. And there you go. Okay, so obviously you got to tighten that down so it stays in place. So you just find out where, so it sits kind of like that when I'm riding. Where do you want this? Okay, so it can move around. And then you just really tighten this tight and then it'll stay in place. So then the phone is going to be, it's here vertical. And I can touch it, I can answer calls and all that good stuff. We're gonna go out on the road in a little bit and show you how that works and see how well the AirPods work with the phone so that I can talk while I'm riding and get Siri to do things for me and see what happens with that. But we'll head out in a little bit and check that out. But that's my setup for now. And if you haven't seen the video before, this is my new windscreen. It's dark smoke windscreen. I really like it. I really like how it looks on the bike compared to the transparent screen it came with. And it's a Puig, so that's the brand right there. But and then also here's my, if you haven't seen that video, here's my garage door opener. Double-sided tape right to the side. I've been through the rain. It hasn't broken. This thing costs about $9 and change if it did break, so not a big deal. But I love this. When I come flying home, I just reach over, hit the button, garage door pops open, drive right in, don't have to mess around at all. So that's it. And then another update, my tire, there it is right there, had a, oops, there it is, had a hole. I got a screw in it. I did a plug, and I've put about probably close to about 200 miles on it at this point, and it's holding air, doesn't leak. So I guess I did a pretty good job for the plug. And because I didn't want to get rid of this tire, still a lot of tread on it. So that's an update on that. There's about 200 extra miles on that tire with no air loss. So that's cool. Well, that's about it. Let's head out on the road and see how this setup works. Hey, I'm back out in the wild testing the QuadLock. So here it is on the bike. Got it sitting up here. It sits a lot higher up, so I don't have to look down. Before my phone would be in the cradle here, I'd actually have to look down at the map, and also the map was sideways horizontally instead of vertically like this. So I'm liking this a lot more. I wouldn't use this every day. I'm just going to use it for when I'm going on trips or I need, maps. You start the bike up, it does vibrate quite a bit, but once the bike gets going and you're at speed or even at idle, it doesn't vibrate that much, and it's very clear to see and use. So I'm happy, and all I need to do is unplug this right here, and I got the red plunger here thing, push that down, twist the phone, and it's out in my hand. I can take pictures or do things, and then just twist it back on, take off. Very simple. Now, as far as my new AirPod Pros for the phone, the noise cancellation is amazing, even with the motorcycle. I don't have a very loud pipe. I've got a stock exhaust, so I don't have a very loud bike, so that definitely plays into it. But just the surrounding sounds, cars, I can hear things. I would say it sounds very similar to when I put my earplugs in. I think if you had a loud exhaust, like a Harley or a sport bike with a really loud pipe on it, that would probably still bleed through, I'm sure. But I'm happy. The only downside is that Siri doesn't really work. For her to respond, I have to do one of two things. Either stop the bike completely and say, "Hey Siri," or go below 10 miles an hour or something like that with very little to no wind, and then she can hear me. The other option, and I'm going to test it, is to, I don't know if I can test it right now, it's not so safe, but if you're in an area where you can engage the cruise control, so you can take your hand off the throttle, I can squeeze the side button. What's the temperature? What's the temperature? Okay, so she responded. She just told me to wait a moment, and she was spinning, and then she did respond. It's, as you can see, 79 degrees. That in itself is a story. It's December 9th, winter, and it's almost 80 degrees here in Round Rock. But okay, so that worked. This is the first time I tried that. I had a friend suggest, pushing the power button on the side of the phone to get her to respond, because that's what he does on his bike. I will say that if I was on a really long ride, I'd probably change, I don't know, maybe put the smaller little, because the AirPods come with 3 sizes of the little squishy things that go in your ear. The medium ones are what fit me, but with the helmet pressure on my ears,
I could feel that these will probably get a little sore after a couple hours in the saddle, so maybe going with the smaller ones wouldn't be as bad. I don't know. But overall, with the QuadLock, very happy with this. It's very quick on and off with one hand. I like how it sits vertical. It's higher up, so I don't have to look down. And I have QuadLock on my bicycle, so it's interchangeable. I can, go from my bicycle to the motorcycle using the same system. Very happy with this. And the AirPods, very nice. I just wish Siri was a little bit more. I mean, and I've got a open-faced helmet, so there's a lot of wind rushing in on my helmet. So it's not easy for Siri to hear me. Another thing is what is it called? Balaclava. The hood that you wear. You put it over, it covers your head and your neck and your ears and everything. I have that on. I bought it at Costco. It's quite nice. I did wear it the other day when it was about 55 degrees out, and it kept me nice and warm. And today, like I said, it's almost 80, and I'm not sweating or too hot. It's kind of breathable. But the thing I'm testing it today for is to see if it will hold the AirPods in place when I take the helmet off. So that's the one definite con of the AirPods, is that when you take your helmet off, they come flying out, and they're expensive. You don't want them flying out and hitting the hard concrete. I'm going to continuously test Siri throughout my ride today here. Different speeds, different wind, all that stuff, and see how it works out. I was going to get because this helmet you can fit the Sina inside, but talking to a couple of friends, they said even with the Sina with the mic, you can't always get Siri to answer you. So I thought that would have been a surefire solution, but guess not. So I'm going to do a little test right now. Take off the helmet and see if these AirPod Pros pop out or not. So just bear with me here. Let me get off. I hope they don't pop out, because they're going to go right on the asphalt here of the Dell Diamond parking lot, which would not be good. Okay, here goes the big test. I am now going to remove the helmet. Oh, okay, that's good. They stayed in. Here's the AirPod Pros in my ear, and this part covers as well as that. So when you put the helmet on or off, they stay in. So that's good. Happy with that. 'Cause that was a pain. I took them off and they go flying out. But there you go. But that's it. So thanks for joining me. I hope I gave you some useful information if you're thinking about AirPods for your motorcycle, or if you're thinking about getting this QuadLock system for your motorcycle. I know YouTube has been very helpful to me when I do these purchases, and find people that have bought them and give their honest opinions about them, so that's pretty cool. Alright, well, thanks. Take it easy. See you next time.